And welcome to the Gain EXP Podcast Revival Rebirth 2.0 Electric Boogaloo. Is that what we're going to call it?
We are now.
Season
Season
2.
Welcome to the Boogaloo, bitches.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if we're going to curse or not, but
no, we're going to curse.
It.
I don't give a fuck. I'm Jordan on this podcast because Giorgio is just my tag name. You could see my tag somewhere here. It's going to be Giorgio EXP.
I'll do the sound effects so you don't have to edit it. It's right there. Anyways, and I'm Doggo. My real name is Riley Hertz, but online I'm Doggo EXP. And yeah, so on YouTube I focus on Pokemon, some anime content, but mostly I stick in the realm of Pokemon, and I do Pokemon news, Pokemon memes, Pokemon cards is actually what got me into YouTube, which is like looking for an excuse for anyone who cared about me opening Pokemon cards. So anything Pokemon is where I live in YouTube space in Instagram land.
Mm-hmm. Instagram land.
Yeah, I would not want to go there.
Oh, okay.
I stay away from Instagram land.
Yeah, I do mainly Hoyo theories, Hoyo like lore content, and then but yeah, so that's mainly us. And we've known each other for like 10 years. 10 years, yeah, right? Almost 10 years.
Almost 10.
Almost
yeah.
10 years.
It's actually crazy to think that because yeah, time flies. I'm sure people listening know they have that one person in their life that they've known forever since maybe high school or something, but we've known each other since like your freshman year of college or sophomore year or something.
Yeah, freshman year of college. And we both ended up doing YouTube for like kind of a stupid, funny reason. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yep.
But we did a podcast a while ago. You could probably check it back in the channel if you want to look back at like the old ones when we were roommates. And we thought it would be fun to kind of revive it as we're slowly getting more of an audience in our own channels.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of if anyone from our channels wants to like learn a bit more about our personal lives, who we are, what we do outside of writing stupid theories and opening Pokemon cards and annoying scalpers. You do that, right?
I annoy scalpers? Oh, I shit on them so hard. Like I have this, like when it comes to Pokemon content, you've got Pokemon memes, you got Pokemon cards, Pokemon gaming, and then you've got this entirely different pillar that's just scalpers. Pokemon shitting on scalpers. It's like my favorite thing is to like fuck with them and piss them off.
Legitimately, if you went to Walmart, Target, or something like that, or GameStop, right? You saw someone legitimately like a scalper, like take 10 Pokemon boxes, would you actually do anything?
Yeah, I would. I would literally, if I was in line, I'd go like, scalper! Sorry. And I would scream as loud as I could at them. And then I would get the whole store to kick the shit out of them. That's what I would do.
Do you think like anyone would actually do anything? Like if you did that?
No. It would just be me screaming and people would be like, what the fuck? And then they would probably beat me up instead of the scalper. So.
But like, would you, okay, so legitimately, I feel like, because I think the turning point for me would be if I was there and some guy grabbed like 10 Pokemon boxes of whatever card box is popular, Scarlet, whatever, Dreams of the Nether Realms or whatever.
Yeah.
And
love that set.
I saw them take 10, and then the next person was like a 10-year-old kid. I think I would stop them. I think there's a part of me morally that'd be like, hey man, like,
you want to hear the conundrum that I go through as somebody who shits on scalpers is like I don't know if you guys know about this, maybe you haven't heard of this before, but now they have Pokemon card vending machines in like grocery stores.
Oh, so yeah.
You can like, and they have them. I'm actually hyped because this is like a thing in Japan that they do, but now like they're trying to get it into the US market, which I love. But it's in like Vons's and Ralph's and stuff. And the conundrum I fall into is I'll be a normal guy, not on YouTube, just walking around in the grocery store, and I'll check the thing if there's no inventory or whatever. But sometimes like I'll walk in and I'll see like a kid get the cards from the vending machine, and then I'll go up and it's like cleared out. And I'm like, oh, you bastard. Like, but I can't say it out loud because I'm like, you're a little kid. You're the one that should be getting this, not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the conundrum where I am like, okay, maybe being a scalper isn't so bad.
I don't know.
Like, that's like one moment where I'm like, man, I hate being anti-scalper because I should be happy that kids are getting stuff and that guys like me aren't.
Yeah.
But then like when I don't get it, I'm like, oh man. Like,
do you sell your Pokemon cards?
I actually have them. We can put it in the link of the description, but I actually have this app and I put all my Pokemon cards in there and it has prices already on them. So I would if someone wanted to buy a card and I didn't want it, and I have some cards on there I don't want. So.
Like shout out, what's your top most like expensive card you ever got?
Oh, my most expensive one is my most recent one actually. I just graded. So there's a set called Journey Together, which is 2 sets old now, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
At the time of the recording, and I pulled the rarest card. Actually, one of my friends, shout out to Ari, he actually pulled it on a rip and ship that I was participating in, and he pulled it for me, and then he shipped it to me, and it's called Lily's Clefairy. Looks like this, and we'll pop it up.
Oh, it's cute.
We'll pop it up on the camera or the video there. But I got it graded. It got a PSA 10, which is like the best grade a Pokemon card can get. And the PSA 10 for this card is $415 right now as of recording. But it should go up because the pull rate is like 1 in 800 and something. Yeah. So you have to open like 800 packs before you even can get one of these cards. And then for it to be a 10, the odds are even lower. It's like 1 in 4. So like the odds are like literally like 1 in 3,200 or something like that. So it's a pretty rare card. So that's my most expensive. And then I've got some other ones in here, like a Umbreon and Darkrai GX and stuff.
Do you think, okay, this is kind of like a weird thing. How many percentage of people you think in the Pokemon card like community do you think are actually like Pokemon fans, or like just like
that is a really good question.
Or like gambling?
That's a really good, yeah. It's definitely not, because when I got into it, it was like we were living together. Yeah. Like maybe, what was it, like 3 years ago then? 2.5 years ago?
It was 2 years ago, I think.
So we lived in the same apartment for a little bit, but that's when I got into it, was because I wanted to get into it at the time, and it was before everybody was into it. Like there were a lot of people, but don't get me wrong, but there wasn't like grandparents buying
you were
it,
doing
or
like you were just collecting.
Yeah, people weren't waiting in line at 6 a.m. at GameStops. Like you could just go into a GameStop, find cards, and you could buy them. So it's back before the demand was so high. And what was the question?
Do you like
what was the question? I'm fumbling right now.
It was how'd you get into it, I think.
Oh yeah, and so how I got into it was I just wanted to open it, and I wanted to record myself like opening packs in front of like people on an audience, because some of my favorite YouTubers, like Max Mofo and stuff, like they're Pokemon card guys.
No, I just remember the actual question.
Oh, what's the question? I'll go back. I'll finish this thought and I'll go back to the question. But yeah, that's how I got into it.
It was how many percentage of people do you
how many are real fans?
Versus like gambling.
Now it's probably like, legitimately, I think it's maybe a third are actual real fans. I think back when I started, it was maybe like, actually like 80% were real fans.
Do you know actually how to play the game?
Yes, I do now. Now I do.
Now.
It took me like a year into opening cards, or a year and a half, but I finally figured out how to play it. Yeah.
Is it a fun game?
I think it's fun. I mean, it depends on who you ask. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is more fun than Pokemon to play. I think the cards actually are kind of better sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh too. But if that puts in, I don't know if you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh before.
I used to be a Yu-Gi-Oh collector.
So when you played Yu-Gi-Oh, what on a scale of 1 to 10, how fun was it?
It was really fun. I was like 8, so everything was fun back then, right?
Yeah. So like, well, to an 8-year-old, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh is like a 10 experience. So I would say take that feeling of 10, it's probably like a 7.
Okay.
So it's a little bit lower, just because there's more like weird technicals behind it and this other stuff. So.
Oh no, like I remember like with Yu-Gi-Oh, like it was fun until they started adding all these random like summoning mechanics, and I was like, they're like, you need to have like 15 of these cards in your hand and in the graveyard and 1 in the fusion to be able to. I was like, dude, you know what? I give up. I'm done.
Yeah, what's the card that brings them? The transformation card that brings them together?
Polymerization.
Polymerization, yeah.
Polymerization.
See, like we're gonna sound like boomers now, but polymerization days, back when it would be like Dark Magician and
something else,
anything, but
pretty much everything.
I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh as like that, but yeah, back in those days it was super fun. I think I stopped around the I don't know if you saw later, but they had this series where it was like
on motorcycles.
The motorcycles, and there was like magnet guys, like the main monsters were like magnets, and they would like connect to each other.
I kind of love that.
I think it was like Yu-Gi-Oh like GX or something like that. So that's when I stopped, but I thought that was pretty beast. I had some of those cards. Yeah. So, yeah.
But how I do remember, do you like it's so funny looking back on it. So if anyone watching doesn't know, like we had a business operating called Gain EXP Fitness. And we both got our fitness training license. We did the whole entire thing. We went through a legitimate way. We're both licensed nutritionalists, fitness trainers. and we made a program where you can work out like your favorite anime characters, and we'll get into later about why we had to either
things we learned,
pivots on that business, what happened with that, but in part of doing that, because like naturally how business works nowadays, you have to have a social media account. Like almost every business now has to have a social media account. It has to make content, basically.
Dude, unless you're making like gloves or something.
Yeah.
Even then, I think those people probably have.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a glove channel. There's a glove channel.
If you're
out
like,
there.
yeah, I guess like Dove soap. I was thinking like even soap, but Dove probably has Instagram.
You know what's the funniest thing? Like a random tangent. You know Squash soap?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a soap coming out with, I think it was Sydney Sweeney.
Her
bath water.
Yep. Dude, it's expensive. Do you know how much it goes for? It's like $220 resale or something, or $260 right now.
I was watching a comedian, shout out Josh Johnson. He was saying like it's such a brilliant move on both of their parts, because obviously Squash will make money off of this, right? It's like a campaign. Sydney Sweeney's part will know who to never allow to meet and greet.
Like that was part of the list. They give her a list of people,
of anyone who bought it, and then you're like, you're never going to be a meet and greet. I'm never gonna sign anything. I was like, I was like, that's actually low key smart, but at the same time, that's kind of funny.
Well, if you think about it, their main audience is probably like guys in our age group, like anywhere between 20 to 30, and they're probably like single men, and they all like go to the gym and stuff. That's how I imagine
Squash users.
That's my guess. I don't know. I don't have access to these like things, but that would be my primary guess. Is it's a man's body soap like company. That's what they're aiming for, anyways. Anyone can use it, but
and then you can buy Sydney Sweeney's.
But that's why I'm like, damn, that's actually kind of smart, because like I don't know, like they might be attracted to her or something.
To be fair, like they've been doing that with anime girls like.
That's true.
For the longest time, and they're not even real. That's the wildest part.
At least like they took that extra step to make sure
it was an actual person. Anyways, but what I was saying is that we used to, with the business, you have to have social media, and we actually originally started making content, doing all this stuff for Gain EXP. That was the original channel, and then we were talking to a buddy of ours who like focuses on, at the time, he doesn't do it anymore, but he focused on like consulting social media people, and he was like, you guys should also have your own stuff. And so we were like, okay, what do we like? And then and then you started doing the Pokemon card thing, and Pokemon the content in general, and I started with cooking. I ended up moving away from cooking because it just cost so much money to make a recipe. That's the thing they don't tell you about cooking YouTubers. Every single time they make something, it costs money. Like, it really does.
So what would you, because you were just making shorts, right? You weren't making you were making long form videos too, but you're making shorts at the time, right?
Yeah.
Shorts don't make like a lot of money.
It doesn't make a lot of money. And then also like the shorts would give me a better return, obviously. And I would make videos. But the thing about cooking is that there's two things. One is that it's hard to stand out with cooking because
everyone's doing it, or
yeah, like there's an aspect where there's like, that's a recipe, right? And you can make a unique recipe, you can make it interesting, but you have to also keep in mind that there's a lot of people doing cooking stuff. It's like, so there's an aspect of how do you want to frame it? How's your personality? Do you want to make it about your personality? Do you want to make it like chill vibes, ASMR cooking, right? So there's obviously like anything that it was thinking about that, but the main point for me was like every single video. Like, mind you, we were working full-time jobs. We were not making bad money either. Like, we were making pretty okay money doing full-time jobs. And I was still like it wasn't draining my bank account, but I was like paying like $50 plus to $50 to $100 to make one short.
Like per week, one video per week, but you would pump out multiple videos a week, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So that was just to make one meal, right? Like, yeah, that's not including what we normally eat, because yes, I would eat the stuff, but also like I'm trying to stay healthy too, because we had a fitness business,
right?
So like
you had to do like unhealthy food sometimes, I would imagine, right?
Yeah,
and then you would not really eat all of it because it would be like against
what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
So it was like eventually when we moved out, I started moving away from it. And I started doing like the game theory stuff, which has been more fun. I think it's a lot more niche too, because that's another thing about the cooking aspect is like you can pick a culture and try to be niche in that culture, but like in that culture, there's already people like cooking crazy food in that culture too.
I could see that, because it's also like, well, with like any type of content you make, it's like you unless you're like the absolute best or you're just first in the best, because
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to be the first one to be doing
Or
things.
unique in that.
Or unique. Like those are kind of, you have to be the first, the best, or you have to be unique. But because everyone is already on there, you can't be first. And then there's going to be like crazy, like there's going to be people who like never work. They spend like 10 hours a day working on content, so it's really hard to beat them in terms of quality.
Yeah.
You can match them maybe, but like you can't really keep up at that same pace. So you have to be like, what are like, how can I be different and stand out from the rest of everybody else? And it's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, cooking is like really competitive, just in
Yeah.
general, but on Instagram too.
I
So,
still want to like. I was talking with you about it. Like, if you don't know, actually, like I should explain this my background. Like, I was training to be a chef. Like, I was training for a while to be a chef. I did restaurant management. I worked for I'm not gonna say the name of the restaurant, but like you know where I worked for. I worked for
Mhm.
food markets out in 66, all that stuff. And
they're like young contemporary type of food vendor
yeah,
peoples.
it was
So
it's
it's not like
fun.
a cheesecake factory.
No, it was like I was doing recipe development. I was doing the full range of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember working like a 21-hour shift on a Sunday, and I was like, yeah, you
God
know what?
damn.
Yeah, I was working part-time while going full-time at school, and I worked 62 hours that week.
Damn. That's actually insane. Did you get paid like a big fat paycheck for overtime or anything, or no?
No, because I was paid under the table.
So they just straight paid you for the hours work. They didn't give you anything extra.
No. And I didn't and also I like I'm not again, not to expose anything, but we didn't at the time, I hear it's better, but we didn't even get the tip from the actual like electronics because they were under the
Damn.
table.
Yo, that's so whack. What the heck?
Yeah. So
That's lame.
but again, not gonna say the name, but it was taking that experience. I still love cooking, and I was telling you, and I told a lot of our friends that I want to do dinner parties again, where I kind of like fuck around with food, with ideas, because I'm getting back into it, and I might do some recording and kind of just do like very very chill vibes type like
Mm.
talking to me like it's like all right, I got this fucking idea, want to try it, let's roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, like the best content is the ones that you're having like fun with.
Yeah.
Like realistically, like if you're making content that you're not enjoying making, you're gonna like, you could do it probably. Like there are people that make shitty IA like videos and stuff like that that probably they don't enjoy making. They just like the money, but like you feel more fulfilled doing like non-slop stuff.
Dude, okay, just anyone out there who so happens to be listening to this first episode and is interested in YouTube or social media or content creating for any reason, take it from two people who are still working their way up, very small YouTubers that have gotten partnerships, brands, we're starting to make money from it. Take it from us. If you just want to make money, if that's all you want to do, you just want to make money, don't be a content creator.
Yeah.
Don't do this. If all you want is to make money, don't do this.
Yeah. You got to like the thing that you're doing. So, I mean, I couldn't agree more with you.
Yeah.
But I think the thing about that too is there's like kind of the bad side of it, which is like once you do it and it starts working, everyone else is going to start doing it because it's probably pretty easy to do. Like the AI videos,
Yeah.
I can make one in like less than 30 minutes and post if that's what I wanted to do. But original content and an organic like audience, like your audience is organic because you've built it over a longer period of time. Like when you talk to like investors, or if you've ever seen like Shark Tank or just people in business, like they're successful not because they had like one Instagram video blow up and they got a huge influx of people visiting the restaurant and then the food quality wasn't there. They're successful because they keep getting people coming back, and it's the same people who really enjoy the quality of the food. And the same thing applies to content. Like that's way more appealing to brands too. If you're having like organic audiences that like live and die for you and your content, like that's way more valuable than just getting like 1 million views on a video.
Yeah.
So,
it's just to give you an idea. It's like you can get 100,000 views on a short and it would pay you out. Just to be honest with you, it will probably pay you out $20.
Yeah.
20, $30. Like that's probably it. Like, cause I've gotten a point where I've had like 300K views on a short. I think I made $40 on it.
Damn. That's not, well, for a short, depends on how much time you put into it. It is good, but it's not like sustainable.
That's sustainable. But at the same time, I've had videos where it hit 50, 60K. That paid me out a few $100s.
Yeah, the videos are where it's at. Like, getting views on shorts is actually pretty easy on YouTube anyways. On Instagram, it can be easy. It just depends on it. Like, it all comes down to quality, really. It's not even about like which algorithm's better. It's just like they like different things and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I've gotten 3.8 million views is my highest on a short. It's not an actual video. But your videos with like, let's just say a video gets like 5K, like that makes way more money than my short that's 3.8 million views, literally.
But
it's like kind of crazy.
It's not just that too. It's like there's a retention value in that too, where
Mhm.
people just come in, like they like the stuff you're doing. They recognize your face, your voice, your style, your brand, like your brand. I don't like saying that because it's like, but like your who you are. It's like it's like the difference between watching a random just a random movie on the theater, like random like Marvel movie, right? And versus watching like, oh, this is a Tarantino film.
Right.
I recognize Tarantino's name and I want to go see a Tarantino film.
So who on is there anyone on Instagram or YouTube that you're like they have good brand recognizability? Like you think about them when you think of like when you go on YouTube, like the
Ooh.
people that you like, you're like, oh, I recognize that brand a lot. Like I see it everywhere.
I think, well, God, I don't want to say Mr. Beast, but outside of like the kid,
like one to you personally,
I think someone who does probably the best, and I will for sure honestly say I think the best active YouTuber right now is Michael Reeves.
You think? Yeah, he's good. His videos are good
because you can tell immediately from watching from get-go who he is, what he does. He has such original style content. He has such work in depth and art in his editing, in his style, in his mechanics. Like everything about how he does it, honestly, you could probably teach an editing class, like a professional editing class at a university, just watching his video about a Roomba saying shitty stuff. But like it's like
his topics are interesting too. I like him.
It's not, and proof of the point is that he makes a video a fucking year, and then like he makes one to two videos a year, and yet every one of those things everyone flocks to. They recognize who he is, they recognize how he is. And another proof of that concept is that he did a run with Ludwig in Japan where he did like a thing. It's on Ludwig's channel, and I'm pretty sure most people watched it because of Michael Reeves.
I would probably be watching it because of that too.
Yeah.
Like I don't watch either YouTube. Like I know both of them. I don't watch them, but
yeah.
If I was gonna watch it, it'd be because I'd want to see that.
Yeah, so, because that's kind of the goal with this stuff, is that's people are like, oh, I want to see Michael Reeves outside of this wacky, crazy character he puts on for this like for his videos and content. And ultimately that's the how you measure success, right? It's not necessarily like, oh, view counts. It's view count if you're running a business and you need your business to make money. But if your business is your creative videos, then then view count matters, but view count matters less than
the goal is always watch time. I mean, if you have high engagement though, you'll get a lot of views.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's interesting. But yeah, it's funny how we kind of transition, but also like it's funny how we kind of worked ourselves into this. This is not something I imagined myself doing 10 years ago.
It's fun though, and we actually did it too. Or I would say we did it because of where we're at right now in terms of followers and all this. Like we have more to do, but like we've done it in the sense that like we're not just sitting at 1,000 subscribers like hoping like people subscribe or trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
I think we have a good foundation to build on. I think like like there's the core strategies. Like we kind of know like at least I don't know if you feel this way, but every time I make something, I'm kind of like looking at it and I'm like, this is a banger. Like I just kind of know this is going to do good. And there's also times where I look at it, I'm like, this is like good, but it's not like going to be 1 million views or anything. You just kind of be like, and honestly, even just saying that out loud, I'm like, damn, maybe I just should never post those videos I'm uncertain of. But also then you get random like crazy ones that like you post and it does get 1 million. So there's a little bit of uncertainty, but yeah, I think we got it to the point where it's like
consistent.
It's more consistent. We put something out, we know it's going to do good, or like if we like for me, I put out things and I'm like, I could have done that better. Like I can at least like recognize that, because before I would just be like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what to do that's right kind of thing.
So our camera is a bit weird that we need to take a break every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But after this break, I actually wanted to ask you something, because I just thought of something funny, because we're on this topic of YouTube trend or YouTube like analytics and trends, is that What is your least favorite, your least favorite YouTube trend or Instagram or like influencer trend that you see that you think is really either cringy or stupid, or like that like you would never do it, but also like every single time you see it, you're like, I hate you.
Like it pisses me off.
It pisses you off. We have to take a break, but
we'll talk about it right after this sponsor. Just kidding. We don't have one. Please sponsor us.
Yeah. Razer, Pokemon, Hoyo.
Yeah.
Everything in between.
Please sponsor us, please.
Raid Shadow Legends.
There's a spot right here for you.
What is your least favorite YouTube trend right now? Or like YouTube trend, Instagram trend, TikTok, influencer trend, like influencer type of video. If you need time, do you need time to think about it?
No, I don't, because we took like a little bit of a break. I kind of was thinking about it because I didn't know when you asked me actually, but after I thought about it, I was like, damn, I get so passionate about this shit. Like I fucking hate food reviewers. Like that space on Instagram.
Okay.
Makes me really frustrated sometimes.
Why food reviewers? That seems like such a random niche.
There's a reason why. There's a fucking reason. And if you're watching this and you're ever on Instagram and you see a food review, which you will, you're going to notice this too. I promise you. And so I'm sorry I have to do this to you guys, but every like 95% of food reviewers, I would say, that I've ever seen always start a video with, this is the best orzo pasta salad recipe I can ever think of, or this is the best curry place in all of Southern California. But then you like, if you click on like the Southern California curry Instagram reviewer, you'll like go to the video right before this one and it'll be the same it'll be a different restaurant with the same opening of, this is the best curry you've never heard of. And then the video before that, this is the best curry in the greater Los Angeles area and you have to come. Like they'll do like, this is the best curry, or this is the best thing I've ever had in my life, like 8 times in a row. And I'm pretty sure it's just because they want to hook people to stay to watch a video. But that shit pisses me off because I'm like, dude, just pick a fucking side. Pick the best pizza in San Diego so I don't have to go there and try it and realize it's fucking ass because you said it was good.
The way you're saying it makes me think that you actually went to one of these restaurants.
All the time. I always fall for it too. They're always like, oh, this is the best new San Diego restaurant you have to try.
Do you
and
ever?
I go, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a fucking 5 out of 10.
Do you like check on Yelp or something or Google?
I do. And the reviews are like 4 stars. And I'm like, why is this place like not good? Is it just like you know those restaurants where they're all looks but no personality?
Yeah.
It's like an all looks, no personality restaurant of like, it looks nice, and then you taste it and you're like, damn, this shit's fucking like buns. I don't know.
Is there, do you, okay.
Like, but the thing that makes me mad isn't going to the restaurant. I'll just say that before you ask the question. It's not going to the restaurant and having it be bad.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you have these basic ass bitches being like, this is the best pizza in all of San Diego. And then they'll say the same exact thing about another pizza place. And then another thing about another pizza place. But like the real best pizza in San Diego is Tribute Pizza, but they'll say it about like best pizza. They'll say it that like they say everything's the best. And I'm like, stop being so positive. Be realistic with me. Like tell me what I need to know. Don't give me a B location.
Okay. All right, let's just say, just for example, if someone was a food reviewer and on their channel, they never repeated the same topic. They always said, hey, this is the best pizza in San Diego. And then the next video was, this is the best sandwich in San Diego. This is the best pasta. It's different every time. So it's not like hypocritical. Do you think that would be better?
I don't know. We're getting into a gray area here because I don't think that exists. I legit don't think that there's a food influencer that has done that before. I think they all are just trying to get engagement. And I think the thing that engages people is they want to know what the best thing is.
Yeah.
They don't care what the worst thing is because they're not going to go there if it's the worst. They only want to go to the best places in Los Angeles. So they're only going to say this is the best place in Los Angeles, even when it's not true. And I think that's fucking horrible because I'm like, dude, you know how much money I have to spend to go out to a restaurant these days? Look at the economy right now. Like, I don't want to spend $30 on a B pizza when you're out here telling me it's an A+ pizza.
Yeah, no,
that's just how I feel. It makes me mad because it also wastes my time because I'm like, damn, I could have gone to Tribute, but instead I'm at like, I don't know, like
Some
Brooklyn Bronx pizza, which is good, but it's not the best in San Diego.
That reminds me. I need to send you this influencer. I forgot their name. I need to look them up. But actually, they made me think about what you said because he actually has given bad reviews at restaurants and like puts it out there.
Oh, nice.
He puts it out there and he like, but he does have like good reviews and he's like, I will. One thing I do think that I appreciate from him, and I do understand this point because I was talking once with a food food editor or writer at a company, and they were explaining to me I asked them legitimately, I was like, why is there never or very few bad reviews? Or if there's a bad thing that they write about, a piece about, it's about the industry and rarely like a place.
About a restaurant.
And he says that the reasoning why, at least for them, but again, these are like the professionals. These are like eater.com, Bon Appetit. This is not like this is not like your little Gracie that goes, eats out, whatever, right? This is like the legitimate food journalists. And they say that like, I don't feel right, or this is what they're saying. I don't feel right that writing bad about a restaurant because it could, at least at that level that they are at, if they write a bad piece about a restaurant, it could ruin the lives of the people who work there because it could shut down the restaurant. Again, this is not speaking about like the random food influencers out there. Like this is like talking about the top dogs, journalists. Like these are the people who, if they say something, it means something, right? So they're very select. One, for that reason, they're very, very selective about the restaurants. Like they make sure they have multiple people go there, taste it. Hey, is this good? Is it really good? Do you like it? What's the pieces about it that you don't like? What is the piece about you do like? They do so much editing work that's crazy because of how much you don't really think about it, but how much, if they say something, could affect a restaurant or affect the people that work there.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, but also on that same note, like if I do see something from like eater.com, it's because I went to go look it up. Like I never see for anything from eater.com unless I type into Google 10 best restaurants in Seattle because I'm new there, and then the eater.com thing pops up, and then I'm like, it's not like being forced upon me, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I think that's part of my gripe is like, I didn't ask for the best pizza place, but now that you kind of convinced me to go, I want it to be the best. I don't want like some C tier, like, I don't know, ramen shop. I want the best if you're saying it's the best. So like, it's kind of like an honesty thing is like, I get it.
Yeah.
But like there are a few reviewers. Like I think there's some good ones that do like some negative reviews, but it's more about products, like individual, like if Taco Bell comes out with something at stores, they'll review that type of stuff, and they've been pretty good. Like they'll actually say if it's bad or good.
I think it's safer too, especially for like bigger like corporate chains. That's like, because you could say something bad about it and
it'll still do well.
Yeah, because it's like may not do as well, but it's like at the same time that's a fast food chain. That's not like one restaurant that some dude opened, right? Like
right.
But I 100% I get what you mean, because I've definitely seen videos where someone's like someone will go up and be like, yeah, this is the most amazing restaurant, and I can tell because I trained in cooking. I look at that, I was like, that chicken breast is drier than the fucking Ciara. That is so dry.
Yeah. Well, okay, so when you were making food content, did you ever do negative reviews? Were you ever? Well, you didn't really do restaurants, I guess.
I cooked.
Yeah.
So I guess
you wouldn't shit on your own food.
But I also like, this is another thing too. Like same thing with you, because I always hated it. I found it annoying. I shouldn't say I hate. I found it annoying whenever someone's like, this is the best recipe for this. I understand. You know what I do appreciate is a different wording, is that this is the only recipe you will need for chicken, which is true. That's a true statement, because if you really like this chicken recipe, this is the only one you
would be, yeah, because you could just make it over and over again. You'd like it every time.
Yeah, and most basic chicken recipes that they give you, let's say like chicken breast recipe, someone's like, the way I cook it, if I would recommend it, there you go. This is a quick one for you. Just do a dry brine with salt, sugar, and pepper, and a garlic salt. Throw it in the fridge for like a day, and then you bake that. If you want to be fancy, sear it and then bake that for about 20 minutes. I guarantee you that will be juicy and it'll be delicious.
That sounds
From there,
damn good, actually.
that is the only chicken breast recipe I can say very fairly. That's the only one you need, because from there you can make sauces. You can make a pan sauce. You can make a velouté. You can make a apport. You can make any type of, you can make a soy-based sauce, soy glaze. You can make any type of sauce. You could change it up, but that is the only one you will need, right? That's a true statement.
Right, that's true, because it's the foundation of the recipe. It's not like you're telling them like this salad or this chicken pizza or something.
Yeah,
it's just the chicken. It's how you prepare it.
Yeah.
So
it's there's an inherent statement in there. So like I get what you mean. Like I did find it annoying. And I also feel a little hypocritical saying that too, because I know, as someone who does reaction content for like the games I play, I have also written like, this is the best story.
Yeah, I mean, but have you ever thought something was bad
and say it,
and then said, "Oh, I think this is the best," or "I really like this"? Or something?
I've actually have a video on my channel where it was like, there's a story quest in Honkai Star Rail that actually got pretty big flack for reasons. And I did a sit down piece for 5 minutes and talked about what was good and bad about it. Like I think one thing that I try to do is that, yes, I'm more positive and I usually try to highlight the positive, but I always do try to state stuff that like I don't usually like. But at the same time, it's harder for reaction stuff because the bad stuff doesn't hit you until later. Like when you're in a game, right? Like I think you can agree with me. If you're playing like any type of game, you don't really think about the things you don't like about the game. At least for me, until like after you sit down after you're done playing with it, and you're like, that could have been better, right?
Well, you know what I would actually really like to see from somebody in the food community is like, and I had this idea. Someone can take this if you want, or if you want, I've unironically thought about like doing this in the future. Is like two ideas. One is you critique reviews. So you would find an influencer who says good. This is the best, whatever. Or even if it's like, this was like kind of a miss and I want to explain why. And then you actually did it yourself as an honesty like checker kind of thing. And you were like, oh, she was right. This is just bad. Or like, this is like a total miss. This actually reminds me of like food I grew up with or something. Like somebody who actually like would revise a review kind of thing.
There's people who do that for recipes.
Oh, really?
That they'll literally, it's a big trend in the food community, in the cooking community, is that they will do another person's recipes and be like, hey, is this good?
That would make sense to me though, because recipes are kind of more like you have to do it on your own too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like someone to basically just call out influencers for not doing a good job at being honest. Like that's just how I feel. But I think someone could actually make it if they made like I legit think this is you could get to 100,000 subscribers being a food influencer reviewer. Like you review food influencers and then you give a rating of like, I went to these 3 restaurants that X food influencer said were good. And here's my analysis. Like 2 are really good. 1 was bad, like etc. Like this thing they said in this video was actually true. Like it was too salty, stuff like that. Yeah. And you kind of like check people in the community. I think that actually could work because I don't know if anyone's doing it that way. I think the risky run is somebody would get mad that you would be like critiquing them. Yeah. But that's actually a good thing because you would get higher engagement because of that.
For sure. I think that actually that's a really interesting idea. I feel like, be a smart thing is that if you're listening to this for whatever reason, if you're listening to this, that's actually it would probably be a good idea for a bigger journalist company to do that.
That would be. Because like they're an entity. They're not a one person doing it. Like it's not like Jordan Au is out to get like this white influencer girl in like LA. Like it's like of some journalists or whatever from a big company reviewed X person. Like that, I think that could be really good. Depends on who does it. If this video gets 100 likes, I'll make a channel called Doggo Eats, and I'll make it about roasting the hell out of influencers or giving them credit where it's due, because I think you should do that too.
Okay. So, we went deep into this topic, but I will say on the thing on trends that I don't personally like, there's one that always bothers the hell out of me. Okay. One that really irks me. There's a lot that irks me, but most of them is cringy, and I'm like, you know what? That's for kids, and I'm not gonna touch that.
Yeah.
But like the one that really goddamn irks me is the ones where you see the TikTok or the short, or it's usually a TikTok. It's TikTok. It's usually TikTok, where it's like it's a video, it's a short, right, of something happening, of actually probably sometimes pretty good information, and it's just. If you're an audio listener, I'm sorry. Well, I'll explain what I'm doing later. But it's a short of someone just with this in the background, something in the background, like a video in the background, and it's just someone just like green screening that, and they just go point at it, and they literally
they're like, and they don't make any noise. They're just like,
and it just points at it,
or they get like mad or whatever, but they don't make any noises.
They just there's like
it's like the lazy. That pisses me off too. Damn. That shit's annoying.
That gets me so pissed off because it like I think it would most of the time they don't even credit the original video. And that's another thing. Like, look, it's cool to share something, but it just feels so ungodly lazy that it is lazy. It irks me so much. Because okay, there's a couple people that do something that's like that, but it's chill. Because like there's a guy who's like, I think he's a DJ or something like that, who does this thing where he plays the songs that are come out from like the recent years.
Okay.
And he points at that, and he points at the other ones where the tracks were originally sniped from, or not sniped from, or
oh, that's actually kind of interesting.
See, that's cool. Okay, because that's proven. He did something.
He did the work.
He knows he has a craft. He does the work. He knows why. I'm sorry, it's not snipe. I forgot what's the exact word. There's
like he sources where the sounds come from and stuff.
Yeah, so like this is the Kendrick Lamar song, and that backtrack the what's it called, the
like Not Like Us or something,
Not Like Us, or like one of their tracks, the background for it, the beat for it comes from this song, and the beat and that song came from this song. And you know what? That's fine. It makes sense for him to point at it because the whole point is to listen to the music, right?
Right.
I just hate it whenever someone's like, there's a guy on TikTok that's talking about an opinion that is like, oh, this is happening or this is something. And it's just someone just doing this, like literally just pointing at their face. And I'm like, dude, I hate you. I hate you so much.
I've seen, I've seen similar I know the type you're talking about, but I've also seen it with like political stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Like it's an article that nobody wrote, like somebody for some company wrote, and they're just like showing it and letting people read it. But yeah, it's like the laziest. It's actually lazier than AI slop. Like actually.
I think like it's just so like
would you rather watch an AI slop Minecraft jumping block video, or would you rather watch a reaction YouTuber just repost a video with their face on it? What do you think is worse?
Oh God. I would say probably the I think is morally worse,
be
or
honest.
Morally worse, or what I would rather watch.
What could you see yourself actually kind of sticking around to watch?
I would probably watch the reaction one because I could just watch the video.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because the Minecraft one I'm not interested in it, and then there's a very. Do you know about the story about like that one Minecraft YouTuber that went full AI?
No. Oh yeah. I have. Yeah.
I forgot their name, but like they went full AI generation on videos, and I was like, that is not. And like everyone hated it, but I was like that just.
I'm talking about like when they have like the video on the bottom, but like they're talking about something up top.
Oh,
that's the type of it. That's what I mean by AI.
You mean like the
it'll be like it'll be like the Minecraft jumping, but it'll be like some Reddit clip or somebody on Reddit, and it's an AI voice reading that. Like, what do you think is worse?
Oh God,
that or the reaction when somebody just reposts a video?
Honestly, I'd rather do the Minecraft.
Yeah,
because that at least if that video is actually someone writing that out, and it's it's AI slop, but everything, it's like, okay, like that's entertaining at the very least. Versus the other one doesn't feel like they're putting in any effort or anything. Do you like? I'm not sure if you heard about this. Jason Derulo got into like a little not like in trouble, I guess, but he was called out for this because all he would do was literally do that. He would find TikToks, cut the audio background, add his own music in the background, and all he would do is have the same exact reaction clip, the same exact one, not a different one
of him
in the bottom corner of the TikTok eating fucking like Sour Patch Kids.
Damn.
And this is the same exact.
That's hilarious.
It's the
actually.
same reaction. This is not a different reaction. He didn't. I bet you he didn't even watch the video.
Probably not. They probably just said, "Hey, watch Naruto for an hour, and we'll put a camera on your face. We'll use that footage in front of TikTok videos."
And I was like, "Oh my god, that kills me." That's one I absolutely hate, just for the moral aspect of it. I'm like, dude, like you suck. You just suck. Like, don't. It's
like disrespectful to people that actually try and put hard work into like their craft.
Like there's there's companies that build YouTube that like YouTubers build that have whole ass teams that work like around the clock to make art, to make video art, make commentary, make beautiful things, then talk about like very important topics or share their opinions. That's sharing jack shit. Like,
okay, but how would you feel if someone did that to one of your videos and it went viral?
It went viral? Yeah. I'd still stab them. Like, I fucking hate you.
You wouldn't like be happy because it's getting a lot of views and your content's getting attention and stuff?
I would enjoy the fact that my content's getting attention. I would still stab the person. Like, I hate them. I will say I appreciate, you know what's one thing I kind of want to look into this is that is if any of my videos has ever ended up on Bilibili. Do you know what Bilibili is?
What is that?
It's the YouTube for China.
Why would it end up there though?
Because a lot of Chinese people will repost videos.
Okay.
From
from like America?
From
like
American videos YouTubers? And then throw it on Bilibili. And they will make money on it because there's no content exchange and most people don't even check.
Is it like a YouTube, like you upload videos and stuff like that?
Exactly the same.
Oh wow.
As Bilibili. Bilibili is exactly the same as YouTube except it's like yellow, orange, and white.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it could very well happen.
I know. So there's one guy who asked me early on if I was okay with him reposting my content because he does like Hoyo stuff, and I said yes because that was at the time I was like 1,000 subscribers. It was cool, whatever. And I gave them permission, but I mean like after that burn.
If like somebody's doing it without asking you, or mentioning it, or something like that.
Yeah. Another trend I hate, just on the food thing, that hurts me as someone who cooks and was training as a video chef, is that there's this constant. I'm sorry if this offends you.
Oh, you're good.
This constant thing with like weird white chicks and dudes, just like
what, making
20-year-old stuff who just purposely make disgusting ass shit.
Oh yeah, like putting blocks of cream cheese and like chicken noodle soup or something like that. Or ketchup,
dude. I wish it was that. What's
the worst you've seen, or what's a really bad one?
There's a man, I swear to God, who took ball testicles, boiled them, threw them in a pot, and filled it with a pot with beef stock and Jello, and it made a Jello ball sacks.
Wait, but was it grape Jello? It could taste good.
No, fuck you. And then they dumped it out. I'm gonna find this video and show you. He dumped it out, and you could see the fucking raw ball sacks in there.
Yummy.
And then he grabbed it and bit it, and I nearly, I sent it to Chip. I nearly, because I told him if I have to suffer, you have to too. And
your eyes have already been scarred, so now you have to make everyone else's lives worse.
Of course, that's how it works. That hurt my actual soul.
Damn. Yeah, that sounds nasty though. But I know the type of videos you're talking about. Yeah, and they're freaking disgusting.
It's just I could go on and on about how much I hate that. Oh my God, I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, after this, we actually have a little game that we set up. We have to go on a break soon, but we have a little game that we wanted to go over because this is our first time back, our rebirth.
Revised rebirth episode.
Yeah. So we have is that a Ferris wheel?
We've got like a spinning wheel. It's really loud. You'll hear in the video. But
like with numbers on it that associate to certain questions. That way we can, and we'll both share the answer to those questions, talk a bit about those. And talk a little bit about who we are, and like very, very much about who we are, our interests, and everything like that. So yeah, that'll be after the break. In like now.
Okay, we're back, baby.
We are back. All right. If you're watching this, and you're not listening to this, you can probably notice this giant wheel in front of us.
And if you're online, there's a giant wheel in front of us.
That you're welcome. But what we're gonna do is spin the wheel. And then basically every single number on here associates to a certain question that we wrote that we're basically just gonna share with you guys. That's a little bit more personal to us, our lives, and the sound of the winds that's going outside.
Why is there an airplane? Sorry, maybe you guys can't hear that. Yeah. There's an airplane outside, but yeah. Anyways.
All right. You wanna spin first?
I kind of do, actually.
All right, go spin first. This is his wheel.
Is that rude? You're my guest, but I kind of want to spin the wheel first.
If you don't know, he usually uses this for Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I just slap these bad boys on there. All right, I'll read the number. I got 8. Wait.
Is it 8?
8. It's 8. Okay.
So since you're doing it first, do you want to ask me or do you want to just like go for it?
I will ask you the question.
Okay.
So it says, what was the first video game you played that really got you into gaming?
Ooh. What do you think it is, actually? I feel like we talked about this before.
Your very first video game?
That got me into gaming.
Got you into gaming.
That's very different.
It has to be like Nintendo, right? Is it not Nintendo? Or like it's on like the Nintendo consoles?
I think got me into gaming is such a broad way of saying it, but I have an idea.
You can say no if it's not. You can say no. If we've talked about it, then let me take a stab.
I would say it's not the Nintendo one, but I wouldn't say you're wrong from the perspective of like the question.
Oh, interesting. Then I would have no idea. Well, let me give me like I'll guess in under 5 seconds. I'll go with like that was 5 seconds. Okay, I'll just guess something random then. I'll say it's something like
Mario.
Pokemon. No, Mario's too Nintendo-y. I'm gonna go with
Tekken.
Is it something like Tekken though?
No, it's not Tekken.
Okay, like Spyro the Dragon. All right, what is it? What is it?
It's sorry, the thing's going.
Okay.
It's Age of Empires 3.
Oh my god, I freaking knew that as soon as you AoE.
AoE 3.
I'm sorry, I missed that question.
I used to be so into Age of Empires. So when I took the question, like honestly, like honest to God, like with the question, like got me into playing games and really enjoying games is actually probably Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Like I really love Pokemon. Pokemon specifically, Ruby and Sapphire is the first ones I played through. And fun fact, I've never actually played through the Johto region, but I played through every other one.
Gen 2, right?
Gen 2, yeah. Mm-hmm. I've never even the remake, but I love Pokemon. I still love playing Pokemon. I still play the new Pokemon off of like honestly, probably just more morbid curiosity at this point. Mm-hmm. But
you gotta know if it's getting worse.
Yeah, I know, better. Right? I
worse.
I legitimately my hot take about Pokemon. I think Scarlet and Violet, if it wasn't for the glitchiness, and then them trying to rush the game out, mm-hmm. I legitimately think that Scarlet and Violet would have been the best Pokemon game.
It's the second best-selling Pokemon game of all time.
I think that it was the first one since Black and White that had an interesting story. Mm-hmm. It had interesting characters. The Pokemon were interesting. It was a free roaming world. Mm-hmm. I think it had all the hallmarks. Literally, it had the template to make a perfect Pokemon game, mm-hmm. and then they fucked up at the end. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed playing it.
They even had Toby Fox make the goddamn soundtrack.
That was pretty fire. That's pretty fire.
I still to this day listen to the team. What team is it?
Not Flare. It's team the Louding one. Loud is from Sun and Moon.
No, it's
there's so many teams now.
The one that they were bullied. I forgot what they were.
Oh yeah, the kids that got bullied.
But that soundtrack, not even the boss soundtrack, the Penny soundtrack is great too. But like
the Penny actual one is the best one to me.
The actual Grunt soundtrack is so fire. It's actually legitimately good. Like that soundtrack to me is some of the best Pokemon music after like 5.
Right.
To me. That's
Gen 4 and 5 had some great bangers too.
Yeah, and then I think everyone has PTSD from Cynthia's theme.
Yes, definitely. I have, the one that I just remember all the time is like the main battle theme from Diamond and Pearl when you fight Arceus or Giratina.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like any legendary boss fight.
Good. I
love that one.
My a goal in life is to go to a Pokemon Symphony. I would love to go to a Pokemon Symphony.
Dude, that would be awesome.
But back to like AoE. For me, just the reason why I say that is because it was the first game I got into ranked gaming.
Nice.
And I still, actually, it's probably the only game I got into ranked gaming. I would sit down and play ranked, and I stopped playing ranked gaming and stopped playing it because there was one time where I played with 5 other degenerates, and we literally sat there and played for 8 hours.
Dude,
one map.
That's like those, like the Civ 5 sessions.
Yeah, no, it just could not. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't be doing this myself. And I was 16, and I realized that about myself. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
For you, Pokemon Emerald?
My first one was probably like Pokemon Emeralds for sure. There's like a bunch that really get me back into gaming, really. Like I've had multiple pivotal games. Like Red and Blue, I think was the first one I actually ever played. I think Yellow was actually the first one I ever played. Emerald, yes. Spore was my first introduction to PC gaming, like online gaming. I don't know if you remember that game, but like it blew up when it came out. And
Spore was crazy.
One of my parents to get it for me so bad. I replayed it somewhat recently, and it did not age well at all.
Do you? I'm surprised you didn't say Mario Kart, because
Mario Kart. Too,
if you don't know, Mario, he's like top. What, you were top 100 in Mario Kart?
The highest I was ranked in Mario Kart DS, which is like one of the best Mario Karts the community thinks of all time. Like that one, I was ranked like 76 all time, like in the world or something like that.
Yeah.
But I knew that Mario Kart DS was all mechanics. There's no like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just all mechanics. Nowadays, the new Mario Karts have a lot of like. It has more depth, which is good for the game and the competitive community, but it makes it really hard to keep up because there's a lot of like shortcuts now. And now with the newest one, you make up your own shortcuts. Like people are like just good for competitive because you want to always be like thinking of new shortcuts or routes you can be making, and it makes it a deeper game. Than
I also think it's more
racing.
This is also kind of the reason why, like when I play Smash, like I'm not great at Smash, but I also love adding the items, because I know a lot of people don't, because there's an act of randomness that is fun. There's like, it's like if I also think like if you're trying to be like if you're trying to go into a party and you're like that like really like tough like OG Smash guy, I'm like, this is not the place to do it, right? Like this is not the place to do it.
You need to be good, but not good enough that people can smell you.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right,
my
your turn to spin the wheel.
So we're not 8. Let's go.
Yeah. So if you get 8, just subtract 1 maybe.
Nah, we'll just spin again. I'll stop it real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. What's the chances of getting 8 though?
I don't know. Maybe this wheel's heavy on one side. Who knows?
I think that would expose you. Oh, it's not 8. It's oh fuck. It changed to 10.
10?
10. Okay. Oh, wait, this is
What? Is it a good one? What is it?
I should I expose you?
You have to say it, whatever it is.
What songs or artists changed your life?
Dude. You are going to expose me right now. We're going to start soft and we're going to work our way into some of the other ones. I think, okay, we're not going to go straight to let me build up to the punchline, okay? Hold on, let me build up to it. So the one he wants me to say that what it will say is I had a Kanye moment. I for sure was like really into Kanye.
Okay,
that did have a big influence on like my confidence, literally. I
will defend him by saying this was before Kanye went off the cliff.
It was a Life of Pablo era.
Life of Pablo era was beginning to get to the creative, kind of weird creative moments, and then after that he kind of went into the Nazi creative moments.
Yeah, the racist moments. So yeah, I think Kanye actually did for a while. Like when I was in my young college days. I think that's when Life of Pablo came out.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Like I still listen to the Graduation album.
Yeah, it's good.
It's great.
So I would say him. You know this, and you actually got me a gift around this, but Tim Burton, I think, is awesome, man. Like I hope someday, and maybe like, I don't know, like it's different because it's YouTube and like you never know what you're gonna be doing in the future. But his art is so amazing because it's like he turns things that people are supposed to dislike, like spiders and rats and like gross skeleton people, and he makes them like likable. And I think that's a really powerful gift that he has, and I really appreciate that. So his films, from a filmmaking perspective, I love Tim Burton. And lastly, I'll probably say like Porter Robinson. I think he actually like I didn't care about music until I listened to him, and then I was kind of like, damn, like we both have a music background, and when I listen to his music, I'm kind of like, shit, like he is good. He understands music theory, and like he actually makes EDM sound like it's a real song instead of repetitive like beats over and over
Yeah.
again, which sometimes I get that, sometimes I don't, but those are my kind of my artists, I would say. So,
I think for me, I objectively have to say, first album I ever owned, and I still think it's one of the best albums that I know of, or like I still think it's one of my favorite albums ever, is Songs About Jane, Maroon 5. You could say
mm,
about what you want about Maroon 5 recently. I don't really care for them after the third album, but I will say that first album and the 10th anniversary of that album is still to me probably one of the best pop rock albums of the 2000s. It
it's
is
really good.
This Love. There's a reason why they still perform those songs because it was so goddamn good. Sunday Morning, This Love,
Hmm.
She Will Be Loved. Like this is that was like I think still to this day, unfortunately, that was their peak of being artists.
Yeah, they're one of those artists too that switch genres and they made it work somehow.
Yeah, and then they had and then if you listen to the 10th anniversary one, they released tracks that they didn't like actually have in there,
Oh,
and it's like
interesting.
super into the jazz rock thing,
Damn.
which is
Okay.
what I really like. They had like they had a song where it was literally like 2 to 3 minutes of I think Adam Levine, and I forgot the name of the guitarist, like just going ham on on a
Mm,
guitar solo,
dang,
which is
nice.
sick. And I
That is
wish they
awesome.
go back to that sometimes, but it's they got to do what it is to be successful. Like whatever, man.
Hmm.
God, I wasn't expecting you to take it into the movie route,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Okay.
I will say if I had to pick one, oh, there's a few
What
really.
about? Oh, sorry. I was thinking of actors, and I thought of who's that one guy, blonde guy in Bullet Train? Johnny
Oh,
Depp,
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. I don't
Brad Pitt's
know.
great. Brad Pitt's one of my favorite actors, but like I think he's a lot of favorite people.
Yeah, everyone loves Brad Pitt. It's like
Yeah,
Leonardo DiCaprio kind of
yeah.
deal.
Guy Ritchie's a great director. He did, I think he did. I'm fairly sure if I'm right, he did The Gentleman. He did the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. I also love Ocean's 11. Like those movies are all so perfectly shot. Like cuz I love bantery movies.
Hmm.
If you ever get a chance to, did you like Ocean's 11 or
I never
Ocean's 8?
saw it. I've never seen
Okay,
it before.
definitely watch it.
Hmm.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt, one of their best performances ever.
Hmm.
And they recently did a movie called The Wolves. It's an okay movie, but it kind of brings back that old banter style of the
Mm.
2000s where where they're like, "What are you doing here? I'm doing here this." Blah, blah, blah. This is like this.
Yeah, like the awkward pausing and stuff, but it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, yeah, that sounds great though. That
there's
sounds
like
awesome.
my favorite, and I think one of the most iconic moments in Ocean's 11 is this time when they're like, where Danny Ocean, George Clooney's character,
Hmm.
is trying to convince Brad Pitt to do something, to like join his crew to go steal a casino. And
Hmm.
he goes into this analogy, and it's like this monologue, like your supposed monologue in a lot of like films, like you go against the house will always win. But that one moment, that one single moment when you win that jackpot, that's what we're after. That's blah, blah. I don't
Hmm.
exactly remember that, but that's kind of like
Right.
that thing where like he's trying to convince him to do
Mm.
it, right? Like that
Nice.
they like sometimes when I talk to you about random shit, right?
Hmm.
And then he's like, that is it. And then it pauses
And
for a
then it
moment.
stops.
Wait, it pauses for a moment, and Brad Pitt was like, "That was pretty good. You rehearsed that?" He was like, "Yeah."
They say that in the movie?
That's in the movie.
Damn.
It's so
That's pretty
good.
dope,
That is,
actually.
it's like
That
it's
is cool.
supposed to be like this kind of like relationship between two guys, and then George Clooney's character is like, "Yeah, did that feel a little rushed?" He's like, "No, it was good. It was good." I was like,
Nice.
"Yeah,
Nice.
I missed that. I missed that interaction." And
Yeah.
I think objectively speaking, I have to say, like, because you brought it into the movie route, like I have to say Hans Zimmer.
Oh, Hans Zimmer is the musician, right?
He's the musician. He's the one who like does a lot of scores for movies.
He did scores for Call of Duty too. I
It
remember
is
that.
Call
Hmm.
of Duty. He did everything from like a Fish Tales to like
Hmm.
or
Shark
Shark
Tales.
Tales to like Sherlock Holmes to like Interstellar. Like
Yeah,
dude is insane.
he is crazy good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna spin the wheel.
Cool. Do it.
Oops. Well, that was shitty. Okay.
We
Well,
We will keep it. We can
I'm
give it.
keeping it if it's something different. I got 9. Let's see.
9.
Alrighty.
I guess
Oh,
in
this
terms
one's
of
kinda
recent artists, Kendrick Lamar is kind of killing it.
he's doing well.
All right.
All right, number 9. What would you consider your most daring or courageous moment?
Oh, this is weird.
Why? Because you know the answer and it's a weird one?
No, because it's like okay, you could take it in a couple ways,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you could take it in the way of like, what is my most daring and courageous moment in the actual like courageous, like physically courageous moment,
Mm-hmm.
or daring courageous moment in the risk I took in my life and career that's not actually like risking my life in danger, right?
Okay.
So
I could see both. I mean, which one do you want to share about?
During a courageous moment, I think there's a part of me that has to say that there was like I think there's one time, the time we did the cliff jumping was kind of crazy. Because that
Cliff
was
jumping is kind of scary though.
because there was that because now I can objectively tell my family that like if they're when they're like, oh, would you jump off a cliff with your friends? I was like, I did. Like I jumped off a cliff with my
Dude,
with my
that
friends.
was scary, bro.
I
I
also
actually remember because it was summer too, so it was hot and the
yeah
water levels weren't super high, but we were
yeah
like, fuck it, like
yeah.
we're here. We just hiked an hour. We got to do it now.
And then I also did skydiving, hiking really high. Like we did Angel's Landing, and then like you look over and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
also I did the hike in Mount Huashan,
Mm-hmm.
which is which it's called Mount Huashan, which basically means mountain flower.
Mm.
But it's in China. It's known as one of the most dangerous hikes in the world. It was literally a moment, and I want to take you there because I would
Is
find
it
it
the
so
one
entertaining.
on the side of the cliffs and
Yes.
it's like one piece of wood
Yes.
and then they like just
Yes.
it runs along this?
Yes.
That's fucking horrible. No.
And then
No.
there's also before that there's something called the Sky Bridge, and it's a natural form
Like bridge.
bridge that goes up a mountain, and there's a drop on both sides, and they just carved stairs between it. It's literally like
Dude.
you literally like as close as
Yo.
this right here,
Mhm.
1,000-foot drop.
I've seen some stuff of like a hand over the edge of cliffs and stuff, like a hand statue
Yeah,
that
yeah,
people
yeah.
go on and stuff. And I'm like, bro, no way. It's all in China,
Yeah.
but it's really cool to look at. But I could never go on it.
No,
I
when
don't
we
know.
go to Shanghai, we're gonna go.
I
once
could
I'm like-
never.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
drag
about
your
that
ass.
one. I don't know about that one. We will see when we get there.
That's probably like objectively, physically courageous moment. I think courageous moment in terms of like an emotional level,
Mm-hmm.
I will say is probably objectively. I think it was just more of an internal moment where this is not to blame family, this is not to blame anything. It's like internally accepting like, hey, I have different dreams and aspirations, and I have dreams and aspirations that I want to follow
Mm-hmm.
that might not be exactly what was expected of my family of me to do. And that's not to say they would force me, like not like a lot of Asian parents, they were really supportive of me.
Yeah.
But obviously there's a certain extent of pressure where like they would recommend things for me to do because they think this is gonna be the best for me.
Mm.
And I always felt like I had to do these. Even though it doesn't technically
doesn't
technically need to be done, and I don't think they would be angry if I didn't do it, but it's just telling myself and being accepting like, hey, that's not the route that I want to go on. And there's reasons for that, and me being able to be open and say like, hey, I'm pursuing voice acting, I'm pursuing YouTube, and I'm getting results, and I've done something, and they've been very happy with me, especially since I'm doing it while doing a job too. So like it's fine. It never would have been not fine, but internally accepting that is something that took a little bit of time.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right. What about you? So was it the Seattle Sky Tower?
No. I honestly don't even know how I would answer this question, to be honest. I almost feel like you should spin the wheel and ask a different question.
No, you gotta fucking answer something.
I don't have a good answer. Like,
to say the Seattle. Okay,
I don't know. Like, I guess that was more funny. It was scary. It wasn't the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, but I don't have as good an answer as you do. I think that was pretty cool though, because we went to Seattle and we went up to the
context. He's afraid of heights and spiders.
I'm really scared of heights and spiders. Those are my two like main fears. I would say spiders probably more than heights. But that one was so stupid because we went to the top of the Seattle. What is it? Seattle Needle. Right?
I think it's Space Needle.
The Space Needle. We went up there. And dead ass, you look, it's like all glass around you. It's a big circular thing. Like people have seen it, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we're up there. We look out the glass, and we look down. And I shit you not, there are giant spider statues down below us as we're up in a really high place. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's also
man? They knew I was coming. Like somebody set that shit up because I'm like, there's no way they put spiders on this building top when we are in the highest place in Seattle.
There's also
That's
glass.
ridiculous.
There's also glass floors.
Oh
and Riley didn't know this, but when you sit on the bench, it's not like a flat bench. It curves
Oh.
into the so you feel like you're falling into the
It's like you lay back on the edge of the Seattle Space Needle.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if the glass fell, I would fall to my death.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyways, that spider thing actually trips me up because I'm like, dude, why would they put spiders there? Like,
So-
I already didn't want to be up this high, and then they put some fucking spiders there.
So what you're telling me is that we have to make a moment that you have to be more courageous. So we're gonna go.
Probably, I would have to be like eating a tarantula or something.
No,
at
we
the
just
top
we
of the
just
Space
we just
Needle.
go to Australia. You pet a spider.
Fuck no. That is definitely worse. That is definitely worse. All
right, last
your
question.
turn.
Probably
Yeah.
last question. There's only a few minutes left.
Yep. Please do not be a number we already got.
Holy shit, this is taking long.
You're good. You're good.
I spun this for a lot. Okay, it is. Oh,
What do we get?
unlucky number 4. What what fictional character best represents me as a person? And you'll do me and I'll do you.
Okay. It's for you. You're a voice actor, so like you're a lot of characters.
That's a bit too objective, but
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think of a lot of different things when I think of you because you do good, deep, like voices and stuff like that. So I think actually it's more entertaining for me to answer for you because you actually are like you. That's what you do. So,
it is. I don't know who would I be? What? Okay, like based on my personality.
The way I see you is you're like a to me you know this everyone's gonna have different opinions, but to me you're like the leadership type. Like I think you take a lot of initiative and action. So I think of like the type of people that look symbolically like strong, like Freddy or I mean not Freddy
From Fazbear?
Like, no, I was thinking Freddy from
Scooby-Doo?
because he's like the main guy. He's like leading everybody, you know. So I'm thinking of Freddy.
That's so funny because everyone thinks you look like Shaggy.
Me, yeah. I do kind of give Shaggy vibes a little bit. I think you're like the Captain America Freddy type in my mind.
Okay.
That's your personality and your vibe and stuff.
I appreciate that.
That's how I feel about you, and that's how I see you. So those are the type of characters I think that are represented by you.
If it would be easier to switch this question a little bit to like what D&D class do you think I would be?
You would be a mage for sure.
You think I would be a mage?
Yes, you would be a mage.
Really?
I guarantee you would be
interesting.
A mage. No, you would. I'm sorry. No. You'd be an Age or an archer. You'd be one of those two.
A mage or archer?
Yeah, you'd be long range, like tactical. That would be the way I would.
That's not what I expected because I remember we asked a couple of our friends. I'm not sure if you remember this.
I don't think so. What did they say?
They thought I was gonna be a tank.
No, you're like a mage or an archer. That's how that to me is I think what you would pick, and I think that's what you would be. I think you would be a great mage. Like I think that's what you would be. But I could see archer because I think you really like that idea too. I think you would think that, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. So what do you think of that take? Do you think that's an L or?
I think it's okay. I'm just surprised about mage because I've never took myself as the academic type.
Well, you don't. I think with mages though, it's more like the curiosity type in my mind.
Okay.
Like the ones that are intrigued by magic, not the ones that are necessarily like the studious, like Poindexter types. That's how I see mages, but I don't know.
I think for you, as like I see you always as like you're the friend in every like anime and just story in general that hypes up the main guy. You're the fun guy. You're like the Lancer character that hypes up someone for better or worse.
Yeah, I could. A Lancer is a good analogy, actually. I think.
Yeah, like you'll be like, it's the comedic relief, but it's also the guy that's like, let's fucking go, let's do this. And then you would jump in, and the guy was like, "Wait, hold on, we didn't even try," and then you fall off the cliff. Like that's the
yeah, the comedic relief. I'm kind of like the comedic relief, but also like the hype man.
Yeah, like you're like I'm down to do this. Let's fucking go. Let's do this. You're gonna get in a fight. I'll get in the fight, and then you're gonna get punched first. But we're gonna be like, "What happened? Why? How you were so far?"
Yeah, I'm down to support like anyone. I think that's too like I want to be there to help people.
I think the part of the reason why is that you also have this personality that is very rare and unique. Is that of a I don't give a fuck what any other person thinks, and that's the only type of character I can think of. Because it's not of a I don't give a fuck what people think, like a I don't know, like a Sasuke where it's like quiet, like I don't care.
Right.
It's a I don't care what you think of me. I'm gonna do me.
For sure.
Yeah.
So like Kanye. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. Kidding. Yeah.
There's also a moment we have just because of an inside joke. Our friend group, we call him the dog for a moment. I'm not sure if you've ever.
That's how my YouTube name started.
Yeah,
you guys
Doggo.
were calling me the dog, and I was like, "Oh, I'm Doggo," and then that's
Yeah.
how that YouTube name came up.
There's
So,
a moment where I had a moment where do you know the dog, the infamous dog anime?
oh, from Full Metal Alchemist?
No, not that one.
Nah, fuck. Sorry. Yeah, which one?
It's the one where a guy
Huh.
gets a guy has a crush on a girl,
Okay.
and he ends up dying, but he's reborn as a puppy
Oh my god.
that the girl takes in.
Damn.
And it's so
That's funny actually.
it's
What's it
so
called? Do you know?
Inosuke's dog or something like that. And
Okay.
it's not, it sounds wholesome. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna
so,
say to me it doesn't sound wholesome at all.
It's so fucked up because there's like moments where the dog is just like there's some things that you should never do with a dog. That's like I'm like I just watch the trailer of that.
God damn.
And I thought we watched it together once, but oh my god, I remember seeing that because I follow Trash Taste and they do like anime reviews sometimes, and I watched it and I was like, someone needs Jesus. Someone needs Buddha. Someone needs Moses. Someone needs every religion's Messiah now. Like, what in the God's name did you put there?
Nah, I've got to watch it. I'll give my review on a future podcast episode.
Yeah. Anyways, D&D thing before we sign off. D&D. I would have thought you would be like Lancer was cool. Like attacker, like a straightforward attacker or archer. I would have given you archer actually.
Really?
Because archers are usually like Hawkeye, Green Arrow. It's like they're the funny guy that's willing to do something.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, like you would straightforward attack someone and don't give a fuck that no one else thinks that you have powers.
I could see that. Actually, that is like an archer personality.
Yeah.
At least the one we made up in our heads right now.
Yeah.
It sounds great. So.
I did want to hire an artist, maybe the pixel artist that I know. I forgot. I think it was Pixel Jess. Shout out to you. But I'm sorry if I if I messed up your tag name. To get art done of all the four of us as D&D characters that we assume.
Be fire, like pixel art.
Yeah,
dude, that would be
or
sick.
like that or doing. I wanted to do.
Well, Chip would be an archer.
Chip would be an archer.
I think a lancer. I agree with both of your picks, but I think a lancer actually is kind of because I can't shoot like guns or archery. Like I can't shoot. Like I'm bad at aiming.
I would imagine Juan would be mage.
I could see mage for him. I could see mage for him.
Mage or support. Or both. Yeah.
I think like the way he looks and the way he thinks about things, I think he could be mage for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our wrap up for the first podcast. What do you feel? How do you feel?
It's good. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting into it. This feels nice. This is a different setup that we did in the past, but we were talking about it offline and we kind of like it and stuff. But
yeah.
Scenery may change every other video or so, but
this, just to be honest with you guys, we're gonna cut these into shorts, but podcasts might come in once every month, once every 3 weeks, 2 weeks, depending on how we are able to do it. Because to be honest, while we did used to live with each other, we live pretty far away now, so we have to schedule things around not just with our own YouTubes, with videos and everything. But hey, if you watched us from Giorgio EXP or Doggo EXP, like this is a place for us to hang out, talk, chill. Like comment below if you want topics that you want us to cover that maybe we don't normally cover on our own videos. Like maybe we could talk about.
Comment something you would want us to ask each other, or like questions that you think are good that we can talk about.
Because this is I should have mentioned this before. There's no format to this. There's like, and we're open to anything. We can talk about current events, politics. We could talk about anything under the sun, and I'm down for it because I don't really care. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, I don't care either. We can talk about whatever as long as people want to listen to it.
Yeah. So let us know. This is kind of going to be our little spot for anything that's not our major topic in our videos. So yeah. Anyways, Giorgio EXP,
Doggo EXP.
This is Gain EXP Podcast. Or Gain EXP Podcast.
Gain EXP Podcast with the EXP boys.
Peace.